Hey guys. Ooh, man, Reggie here. And man, this is the first vlog that I've actually been able to do this year, and it is already a week from Valentine's Day. That is crazy. But that's what happens sometimes. Life catch up with you. You don't really get enough time to do anything, or don't get as much time to not do anything but do stuff recreationally. So I have been riding this year. I just haven't been able to get out there and vlog. Normally when I go ride it out with the missus, I wear my half helmet, and I don't have a mount for that half helmet, so I don't have the ability to even record while we ride together. That's something I'm gonna fix in a couple weeks. Anyway, I would like to take the time to thank everyone who subscribed to my channel. Since I started doing this back in July of last year, I never thought that I would have, as many subscribers as I have. I do appreciate all the feedback I get, the comments. It's actually something that when I started, I started doing this, not with delusions of grandeur, but I figure, if I get a comment here or there, it'd be cool. But just the fact that I get to talk and interact with so many different people, and they share their thoughts on my thoughts about what it is the hell I feel like talking about, is pretty cool. So like I said, I would like to just thank all of you guys who listen, who like, who subscribe, who leave comments, share my videos. I think that's pretty cool. So the thing I wanted to talk today about was I wanted to go into a little bit about myself. The last couple videos I recorded was just me talking about general topics, and looking back on that, I don't feel like I gave you guys enough information about who I am or any of that stuff. So what should I start with? Let's see. I know, I'll start with my social security number is, I'm not giving that out. Where to start? Well, you guys all know that I'm in Florida. The majority of you know. Anyone new who doesn't know is I live in Florida. I wasn't born in Florida, and I moved down to Florida when I was about 12. I lived in New York. I actually lived in Rockaway. My parents didn't like the environment per se for us growing up, so they moved us down here. Now I have not been back to New York since I was 12. I am now 29, and so it's been a while. It is something that I've talked about with my wife about, discussing and doing and going. So, but it's something that will happen eventually. Just a matter of time. We kind of plan it out, and then life gets in the way, so we end up having to postpone it and start over again. So we will definitely be doing that. I've never actually sat around and thought about what my life would be like if I had stayed in New York. My parents moved me down here, and I don't consider myself a New Yorker. When people ask me if I'm from New York, I tell them I'm not. I don't have the accent anymore or anything. I've been down here. I've been living in Florida longer than I was living in New York. Oh, that's a nice Kawasaki right there. Let's see. I work in landscaping. I actually work for a company. I'm the manager. I take care of the day-to-day operations and everything for a bunch of guys, a bunch of crews. So I generally don't get to ride as much as I'd like, just because my job requires me to have a company truck with me at all times. funny thing is, when someone asks what I do for a living, I always tell them I'm a landscaper. I never really go into the particulars of what, you know, oh, I'm a manager or whatever, because, you know, I like my job. You know, I didn't start off necessarily cutting grass. I started off in a different field. You know, there's big fancy titles for it, but pretty much I was the guy who went around and threw shit on your lawn. I mean, literal shit. That's what I did. You know, and I liked it. You know, it was the first outside job I have. I got it right after me and my wife had gotten married. The pay was good. The benefits were good. Ooh. So I did that for a while. When the economy went south, I got laid off. And then I found this smaller company, and I've been working there ever since. I started just being their guy who threw shit on everything, and then I turned into the guy who runs the day-to-day operations. So I do work a lot of hours, but I do like my job. Let's see, what else can I tell you about me? I feel like I'm doing a video like on one of those dating sites where it's like, tell me about yourself. I like long walks on the beach. Oh, and you know, the sand in my toe, the hair whipping in my wind. What else can I tell you guys about me? Let's see. Things that I am into, you know, motorcycles. I was never crazy into motorcycles when I started riding. Not when I started riding, before I even got into riding. You know, I was more of a car guy. I love cars, I loved automobiles, but I never ever got crazy into the whole riding thing until my brother-in-law got a Kawasaki Ninja 600. Which one it was, I don't know, and it was an older one. You know, had the square headlight or everything. So I think it was like one of the you know, one of the earlier sports bikes. You know, I rode it around the parking lot, didn't really shift gears or anything, and I was hooked at that point. And since then, my interests have shifted. You know, before, if I saw a really cool car, it would draw my attention away. I mean, I'd be fixated on it. Now it's motorcycles. I don't really care for the cars anymore. I mean, yeah, they're cool cars and everything, but I'm not like, oh, look, a Maserati, or oh, look, a Mazda 3. Said no one ever. So once I switched over to bikes and liking bikes, you know, I found myself looking at them all the time. So let's see, guys, making a U-turn. Other than that, I mean, I can't think of anything else to tell you guys about myself. Oh, I'm trying out something new with my camera. I have a Drift Ghost, and so far I've been recording at 1080 by 30 1080p by 30. So I'm gonna try doing a couple videos at 720 by 60, just because YouTube now shows at 60 frames per second. So I want to see how that turns out. So there may be a couple of videos in between these that jump back and forth. I'm going to try to run through the rest of those, because I do have a couple more that's left that I recorded at 30 frames per second. But if I like the 60 frames per second, then I think I'm going to stick with it until I update my camera to something nicer. May not have anything else to say. That's pretty much it. So if you how do these guys do it? They always say, oh, if you like my content, subscribe for future content. Like my video if you like it. Please feel free to leave a comment. Any questions you guys have about me, you know, I'm free to answer. Until then, I will catch you guys on the next video.